Hi everyone, I'm so sorry that I couldn't be there today, but we're going to be doing a rapid fire homonym game segment where I teach you how to play multiple homonym games in about 3 or so minutes. So the first homophone game is homophone matching. So students will have homophone picture cards with the picture, the homophone name, and how the homophone is used in a sentence relating to the picture. So for example, if we're using the words male and male, we can have a picture of an envelope, the spelling of the homophone mail, and the sentence my letter arrives in the mail. And then for the corresponding homophone, we could have a picture of a boy, the spelling male, and the sentence my brother is a male. Then we would mix the cards up into a big pile, and the students would pick up a card and try to find the matching homophone pair. And this pattern would continue until all of the pairs are found. The next game is Homophone Blackout, and this is similar to bingo. So the students would have bingo cards, but each tile would have a homophone name. The teacher would then read a sentence with the homophone in it to the students, and the students would determine the correct spelling of the homophone, which was used in the sentence, and place their chip over the tile marker. And then once every tile is marked off on their bingo card, that student would win. The next one, it's not really a game, it's more so an activity, but I thought it would be a great resource for teachers to use, and this is an anchor chart. So the teacher would display a poster with both homophone spellings, and underneath the spelling would be the meaning of each homophone, and then the students would illustrate on a sticky note a representation for each homophone. So for example, if we're using the words there and there, the spelling THERE is representing a place, and a student could illustrate their house. And then the spelling of the homophone THEIR is ownership, and the student could draw a picture of their dog. The next game is Hunting for Homophones, and this is a digital game. So the students would match the homophone squares to each other by pressing over the square to flip over the card, which would then reveal the homophone name. And after the student presses over the card would flip back over, and the students would have to remember where the homophone pairs are on the grid, and they would have to keep flipping and choosing pairs to match all of the pairs in the grid. The next one is homophone search. So each student has a sticky note with the homophone name on their back, and each homophone has a pair in the class. So each student has a partner in the class. So the students would go around asking each other questions about the homophones on their back, trying to figure out which homophone is, what the spelling is, and they would be trying to find their pair in the class. And then once they found their pair, they would stand next to their partner until all the other pairs were found. And the last one is homophone charades. So the teacher and the students could create a list of homophones and they would display it on the front board. The teachers and the students would then write down the homophones on individual pieces of paper. You could then fold the papers up, place them into a bin, and you could either split students up into teams or you could do this as a whole class activity. A student would then come up to the front and choose a homophone slip out of the bin, and they would act out a motion to represent the homophone. And the class would then guess the homophone spelling based on the motion, and they could also use the list at the front of the board for resource as well. And that is all. Thank you so much for listening.